Hello, Junkies. My name is Bob, and today we're going to be tackling Mysterio from the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Far From Home wave. Now, this is Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, as he is seen in Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, I'll be honest, I have seen the movie, but I will do my best not to try and spoil anything in this particular review. I don't think there's too much that I could get into about the character, but we're here to talk about figure. So let's do the figure. Now, we have our classic Marvel Legends package, and I noticed this one is a tad more blue than black. It just has that dark navy Spider-Man blue, which I thought was kind of cool. Build-A-Figure is obviously Molten Man, and we get one leg of him here. I will also tell you that the heaviest one I felt was not this one. So I'm thinking Molten Man may actually be bigger than normal. So as you can see here in the box, we do have Molten Man. We have Mysterio, the Master Illusionist. Mysterio battles his foe Spider-Man. Spoiler! What? They can't even continue it. As Marvel fans, we know that Mysterio is a bad guy. But, maybe for someone who's watching the movie, they had no idea. So we do see the full wave here. We do have Spider-Man. You get two in a case. Two. And this figure here does not have a Build-A-Figure piece. Mysterio, Spider-Man in the black suit, or the movie Spider-Man Noir, Hydra-Man, Doppelganger, Spider-Woman, and the Scorpion. Spider-Woman's a bit of a surprise. I'm actually surprised that she has surfaced in the modern era. So let's get to this figure here. Now, as many of you junkies know, and I've tackled numerous Marvel Legends in the last couple of weeks, we're not keeping the package. But I do try to be delicate in the practicing of opening new toys. So there we go. I do love the design here. It's kind of more like I wouldn't say it's a complete picture from the film, but it's more or less a like a conceptual concept artist rendering of the character, which is kind of neat. So, all right, I did pretty good on that. Didn't rip a single thing. And get him out of the plastic coffin. Now, this is interesting because even though he's the villain, we still get the Spider-Man Far From Home logo on the package. Now, you don't get this every time. We did do Beta Ray Bill not too long ago, and Beta Ray Bill had nothing. You think he would have had the Avengers logo or just a hammer or something, but nothing. So, interesting that the villain for the film actually gets a figure. So, let's get him out of the plastic coffin here. Now, we do have two extra hands, which are fists, so that's cool. Mysterio is more of a hands kind of guy, so it's neat that we're going to get that perspective on the figure. Let's get this mega Molten Man piece out of him. Now, we're going to have a link and a review of Molten Man by himself, but as you can see, we've got a bit of a joint here so that we can move him forward and back, and then we do have the knee here, so we do have a leg, but as far as this goes, I'd say it weighs about as much as your watch if you have a bigger watch. It's pretty heavy, actually. So he's going to be a beast. So we have... didn't see this. So this is very cool. So we have more designs here for Mysterio on the back of the cape. Look at that. That is very cool. So you would have seen that if you never would have taken him out of the box. It'd just be gone forever. Let's get the two hands out of here. Oh, good. I like it when they do this. It just makes it easy. So we do have some, once we get it in there, we'll have the joint. And then get the tape off here. So the nice thing about taking everything out of the packaging, and I have my own little system of how I do this and keep track of everybody, is that I don't have to move all these boxes. And it's not like one box with 6 figures. It's like one box with like 30 figures. So... Now, the first thing we're going to talk about before we do an instant pose is the fact that it does not come with Jake Gyllenhaal's head. This means to me a couple of things. One, they're going to save it for some sort of anniversary edition. They did that with a lot of the other Marvel characters, and we finally got versions of characters that we actually wanted. So it's something for us to get it to buy it twice. That's Hasbro's prerogative, and they know we will buy it twice. My other thing is I think there'll be a 2-pack without their masks on. So I really do think we'll get Quentin Beck Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, without his mask on. So this does not come off, but the head does pop, so we could take it off if we do get another head, which will do nothing more than get people to steal the head out of it and then put it on this Mysterio, and then, of course, there'll be a huge debate over which Mysterio is better. But I do kind of like this one. Unfortunately, I never got the other one. The one was released about 18 months ago. I did like the skull face that was hidden in there. So we kind of do like a floaty thing here. Mysterio. Okay, but let's do an instant pose. Not liking the feet so much, but there he is. It's a good pose. Creepy hands. I do really, I wish the eyes would have been more prevalent. Wish they would have been seen more in the film. Sorry, folks, I've had like 3 cups of coffee today. Because I always thought this was part of what we were supposed to look at, and this was always the deception, even though this was really his face. Didn't pay too much attention to that in the film. Let's see here. Look at the cape. Gotta say, Hasbro did a great job. We even have color inside the cape. It's not a straight color. So we did see the back earlier, and this is nice. It's almost like a snake. But in the film, there's some great things that have to do with the cape. So, and I will say this. It's kind of nice that Mysterio did take forever to come into the films, because I don't think the technology existed to make Mysterio as real as possible as he was in this movie. So this arm's a little weak, and these gauntlets do not turn. The arm turns up there, but these this feels very fragile. So let's see what happens when we pull one of these off. Now let's get the fist in here. So, and I will say this, I really did like the reasoning behind why Mysterio did everything that he did in the film. So, nice little pose. Yeah, let's switch the other hand out, see how we do here. It's funny how there's times where you kind of want different hands for characters, and there are other times you're like, nope, those are the hands that I should have. So, if you want a boxing Mysterio, which I don't know why you'd want that, but the cape does help him stand a bit. Well, maybe not. Maybe I just got some good poses out of him. So there he is, standing. It's a solid figure. I really do like it. And I like the realism to the character. Instead of kind of like the comic booky version that came out a little bit before. And if you look at certain angles here, it does look like there's a face in there, which is very cool, even though there isn't. It just, the way the light catches everything. It's a great design by Hasbro. Really, really like it. So let's put the Mysterio hands back in before we do a size comparison here to some other characters. I did not open Spider-Man yet as of this recording. So the cape is loose. You could take it off and change it. There's a weird little kind of, oh, there is a backpack here. I don't want to say there's a backpack thing, but there is a peg right there and then right there to make sure that the cape stays in its location. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't expect that. So we can do some crazy hands, which it's funny. Zoom in here. It's funny because Marvel is constantly adding those little plastic twirly things. Doctor Strange, anybody who does magic comes with these little twirly things. I think even Magneto comes with a couple of them. Anybody who does anything with their hands comes with those crazy swirls. This is the one character that actually should have those crazy swirls, Hasbro. I just don't understand why you didn't put it in there. Then again, this is a pretty heavy piece of plastic. So let's do a comparison here. Now this is the realistic version of Captain Marvel. So we'll do a back-to-back here. Turn her head this way so she's looking. It gives you a size comparison. She's pretty tall with her mohawk. So there's a side-by-side comparison. We'll put them this way too so you can see it. But I do have a third character here to kind of give you some scale about how big Mysterio really is, and that is the new Beta Ray Bill. So if you get a better sense of how big these characters are, or that these figures are, Beta Ray Bill is definitely going to bring that to the limelight. So you can see Beta Ray Bill is a beast. He's a regular size figure. He's considered a regular figure. He's not a Build-A-Figure, where Mysterio is also a regular figure, but Beta Ray Bill is just a monster of a guy. So really like the Mysterio. No surprises here, except maybe the cape. I think the cape is really well done. We've got lots of grooves in the cape, textures. These up here could have been painted a little bit better, but I'm really loving the Mysterio head. It brings me back to when I first read about the character in the comic, and I think he was actually in an episode of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, or maybe it was just the Spider-Man cartoon from the 80s that I really, really liked. I thought, this guy this guy takes down Wolverine in one reality. So I've always had a little bit more respect for Mysterio than some of the other Spider-Man villains. But worth picking it up if you can find him, and he's starting to be tough to find already. Now, I know the wave just hit, but Mysterio seems to be disappearing very quickly. So outside of not getting a Gyllenhaal head, I think this is at least a 9.5 out of 10. Thanks, junkies.